I've been losing on the weather front all week between the weatherman and Barbara taking it out. You know, about time I had a win for a change. Feels good too. Friday, February 19th, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. And first of all, let me do this.
Galaxy 107 FM.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Gosh, it's been a busy day today, it really has. Starting earlier on this morning, we spoke to rock legend Steve Lynch, formerly from the band Autograph, then catching up with royalty here at Galaxy with the king and queen of country music, of course, Michelle Lee and D-Rock. Now we're catching up with good friends of ours, Louis from the band Hillside Outlaws. Now we're going to be doing a little bit of that. We really, really are. But first of all, for everybody that's joining us live on Facebook, thank you so much for joining us again today. It is an absolute pleasure to have you guys along with us. Now, at the same time, if you're going to be watching this a little later on, you know, on the YouTube, you know, on the interwebby thing, yeah, you know what to do, right? You do, don't you? Yeah, sub, thumb, bell. Bingo, you got it. Bell, notifications. Lets you know when important people are coming on, like Louis from the band Hillside Outlaws. Now, let's check this out. And believe me, I'm absolutely loving this because it's getting so many requests. Here's Nothing Feels Like Tonight, right here at Galaxy. So we got a couple of minutes, Louis?
Yeah.
And Amanda Henson and Cheryl Arnold are joining us right now. It's an absolute...
How are you guys?
An absolute pleasure to have
Hi,
both
Cheryl.
of you joining us right now.
Love you, Cheryl. Hi, Amanda.
So, believe me, bro, I wouldn't be anywhere near anything that has a 0 or a -0 in the temperature.
Well, when you come to visit us in Canada, you'll have to come in the summer, or your winter, I guess.
Well, I'll bring
so
some
June,
summer
July,
with me.
August. It's awesome here. It's just like New Zealand here in August.
Nice.
So there's a small window that you won't get too culture shocked
Well,
while you're here.
You know what? That would be a perfect time and come and watch you guys touring. I want to come and catch a live show, not only here in New Zealand, because I want you guys here in New Zealand, but I'd love to be able to watch you guys live on stage over there too.
I would just love to play live anywhere right now. You know, any of the musicians out there know what I'm talking about. We're going stir crazy because you know, a lot of us, most of us, we all missed out on the major festivals last year, and you know, some of us have been lucky enough to do really small venue type shows, but it's just not quite the same. And I can't wait for it to come back to some kind of normalcy.
Believe me, bro, you are preaching to the crowd right now. You really are. You know, the choir is right there with you because, believe me, we're in the same boat everywhere around the world. Even us, we put on concerts and stuff like that. We haven't done it for a year now. We are just so hanging out. Let's go live to the desk.
That's when it really hits me. I just wanna soak up every moment till the morning light. That's right, oh, nothing feels like. I just wanna soak up every morning light. That's right, oh, nothing feels like tonight. Nothing feels like tonight. Oh, nothing feels like tonight. 107. Galaxy FM radio beats.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 20 minutes after 12 o'clock, and yes, I know, a little overtime, and I do apologise about that. 28.6 degrees, we'll call it 29 degrees. It is hot here, and believe me, if you're in the office, it's 91.2 degrees Fahrenheit. For those of you on the other side of the world that don't know what Celsius is, but that's in the office here, mainly because of the computers and everything. Adds a little extra heat on the plan. I'm joined literally by Louis, coming out of the band Hillside Outlaws, and well, it's been a minute, you know, not that much of a minute, really, only a couple of months, but does it sound like the security guards got somebody's leg or something out there? There's a bit of a commotion going on. But Louis, glad to have you guys back again. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, always a pleasure, Grant. Always fun coming on here and hanging out with you.
You're kind of sadistic now, aren't you?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's nice to have somebody that sadistic to come back again. Now, we released not so long ago, to be very honest with you, Nothing Feels Like Tonight. But let's refresh our audience's memories. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was a song that we got from Aaron Goodwin, who is a friend of ours. We've known him for a few years, and he sent over this song. We had been writing lots and kind of shopping around for different songs, and he sent this one over, and he said, I think this one is a good fit for you guys. And then we listened to it, and we sent it off to the rest of the team. We sent it to Jeff Johnson, our producer, and it was the one. So from the time that he sent it to the time that we recorded it and got it all finished, it was the fastest song that we ever put together. All the pieces just fit, and it was like maybe 3 weeks, I think, from start to finish, and boom, it was done, and it came out really great, and I'm super excited to have that song from such a well-known writer like Aaron, and he's such a great guy too. He's been kind of a friend and a mentor since we met him in 2017 at the BCCMA award show. So it's a kind of a really happy coincidence that all the pieces fell together for that one.
You know, Louis, and I speak to a lot of artists and have spoken to a lot of artists over the years, and they say, I kind of get this feeling that the 5-minute songs, the ones written down on a McDonald's napkin, the ones that fell together all in a couple of minutes, they are the best songs. They have the longevity. They tend to be able to attract the most interest. Have you ever discovered that?
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of it's like a gut instinct. People always say, trust your gut, and a lot of times when you're in a room writing songs, sometimes it's a struggle. Sometimes you're against the grain the whole right, and it doesn't, you know what I mean? And you try and repiece things, and it just never really comes together. But then you have those times where it's just, it flows together so fast, and you're like, geez, should we, is this good? Should we go back and change it? But you gotta stick to your gut on situations like that, and just and then those are always the songs that the ones that just kind of come out because it's almost like they write themselves. They're a story that needs to be told, and it's all the pieces line up at the right time in the right moment.
I fully get that. I really, really do. And with respect, I absolutely love Nothing Feels Like Tonight. Really do. But yet again, I'm a big fan of Hillside Outlaws anyway. I love all of their music. Got to say hi to Darcy Hanson as well. And love to both you, Darcy, and to Rod as well. And Happy New Year to both of you guys. And also Cheryl Arnold, Barbara, she says she loves you.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah, not me, you.
Yeah,
she loves
she
you.
does.
Yeah.
I love her back.
Cheryl, I love you too, all right? Nice to have you with us. And, well, Louis, you know something?
And Amanda.
We've known each other for a little while now, to be very honest with you. How's the rest of the crew going? Believe me, it's a surreal time right now, especially we've spoken about this in the past with this COVID thing going on. But how's the band themselves? Are they hanging in there?
Yeah, we are. We actually got together with our guys a little while ago, and we did a little live studio thing that'll be pre-recorded. We'll get more into that later. we haven't announced anything yet, but we did get together at the MyTone studio in Vancouver, and we kept everything socially distant and made sure that we followed every precaution. But we recorded 8 songs kind of live off the floor, and we're gonna put them all together and hopefully do a Facebook Live concert here fairly soon. And it was nice. It was nice to get into a room with those guys again. I know they've kind of been struggling the most. The hired gun musicians. That's kind of their livelihood, is to play live shows. As an artist, we still have opportunities to promote our music and stream our music, and you know what I mean. We still have ways to survive in this new environment that we have. But for a live musician, for a player whose bread and butter is playing live, everything has been taken away from them. So when we put this out, we're gonna have a virtual tip jar, but it won't be for us. The virtual tip jar is gonna be for our hired gun players, just so that we can, they good group of guys, Mike Vanderlance, Milo Jennings, and Gaz Beaumont. They're just a great group of guys, and they deserve to be paid for what they do. They're excellent musicians. So any way that we can give back to them in this kind of downtime, I know one day we'll be back on the road. We'll be back on the stage, and we'll have those guys behind us again. But in the meantime, it's tough. It's a struggle out there for any live musician.
Louis, I respect that. I really, really do. In fact, we've been doing something over the last year with a recording studio coming out of British Columbia, where we've been doing an Artist in Isolation, 2 albums actually, and 100% of the proceeds went back to the artists themselves. In fact, I think we're looking at album number 3 very, very shortly as well. This one's going to be all ladies. Really is. Last one.
Oh, that's cool.
Last one, literally, I dubbed the Beard album, mainly because every artist on it had a beard. To be honest, I felt very comfortable. I did. Felt at home.
It's the isolation beard. Everyone that's never had a beard before, now that we're not going out as much, we're experimenting with, because if it looks terrible, or if it grows in patchy, well, we don't have to go out in public, because we can always cover it up with the mask and nobody actually has to see it. So it's a lot of experimenting from fellas with the beards.
Well,
So I'm trying it myself.
Here's one for you. When you get yours to about this, you know what I mean? And believe me, if you're going out in public and going to the shopping and the security guard comes up and goes, "Where's your mask?" I go, "Hey, hold on."
Yeah, I think I'm a few months, maybe 6 months out from having it that long, but we'll see. I'll try. I'll do my best.
I wish you luck. I really, really do. Believe me, mine's been around for a while now, actually. It really has. But I'm admiring the look right now. I really, really am. And I'm supporting it. 100%. I really am. Now, at the same time, I would love for you to tell me about your hat.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a funny story, actually. So this is the Last Barbershop. It's a barbershop here in the town that I live in, Penticton, British Columbia. And Joe McLeod has been my barber for probably 2 or 3 years. Actually, it's once a barber is like it's more than just somebody who cuts your hair. It's a confidant and a friend. So once you find a barber that you trust and you like, you stick with him. So he actually was working at a barbershop when I met him here in town. Then he went off on his own and opened up the Last Barbershop, and of course I went with him. And so I think we were we were friends for a couple of years, and I didn't even know this, but turns out he's also a musician, and he plays drums and bass, and he likes to get into recording and stuff. And so we would always talk music, and we had this song, Your Love is a Cigarette, recorded. It was finished for over a year. We were just kind of sitting on it, and we were looking for just the missing piece. We weren't really sure what it was. So I played it for him, and he says, you know what? I know somebody who can make this from good to great. And he introduced me to Aloma Steele, who, as it turns out, is also from my hometown. She lives in Vancouver now because she's a huge pop star. But so we got her into the studio. This is just before all of the COVID stuff happened, so we were able to get her into the studio before all that. And she just brought a magic to this song. You know, like I say, we had it for, it had been done. We weren't even sure if we were going to release it just because it was close, but it just wasn't there. And then Aloma came along, and she put the vocals on there and just made it magical. And, you know, sometimes things are just worth the wait. And this one really was. So, yeah, huge thanks to Joe. If anybody's watching from Penticton or BC even, it's worth the drive to go and get your hair cut by this man. Yeah.
Well, I got to let you know, Louis, 69 countries today, 97 cities around the world are tuned in right now. I'll give you the numbers later. I really will. But I've also got to let you know that, and we've known about Your Love is a Cigarette for a number of weeks now. In fact, my wife found it on the internet, she on Facebook of all things, and she couldn't get the song. She went to production, hounded poor production, almost caused them to flip a switch. Or you know, honestly, for the last 3 weeks, she has been on him. I want this song. Then all of a sudden, Barbara turns up with the song. Poor production man goes, "Thank you, Barbara." Believe me, you have no idea. But the driving force behind it literally has been Terry back here, on-air production. She has wanted the song for so long, since she's seen it on the internet. Demand. We've got to have it. We've got to play it. So when we got it, we actually did play it, but we didn't say anything to anybody, Louis. We really didn't. It was like dipping the toe in the water, you know what I mean? Let's play it a few times, see what kind of reaction we got, and believe me, it blew up our internet. We literally had fans. They want to know what, when, who, how, why. Give me the skinny on everything, believe me, bro. That was the reaction we got. Now, where did you get this recorded?
We recorded this here in the Okanagan at Bailey Entertainment. He's Jeff Johnson. He's a CCMA award-winning producer. He's just a genius when it comes to production and stuff. And we kind of went with, a really full production vibe, just because it's a little off the beaten path as far as country music goes, but you know, the Hillside Outlaws, we always like to push the boundaries, right? And we're kind of bridging that gap between Aloma's style of music. You should also go and follow Aloma Steele. She's amazing. She's an amazing artist. So to bridge the gap between country music and what she does, which is kind of it's like a pop EDM type of, it's really vibey stuff. So we were trying to find a production that matched, that could bridge the gap and really push the boundaries of the music altogether, right? So, and I mean, Jeff is amazing. So I can't say enough good things about him. He just killed it on this production, and super pumped. It sounds good in little headphones, and it sounds even more amazing on a big stereo system. It's just, we're really proud of this one for sure.
You know something? We love it here as well, and I've got to let you know, I think we're doing an interview with Jeff Johnson in the near future. Barbara's setting something up there, so believe me, I'm going to give him a big shout out for you. At the same time, I'm going to tell him to give you a poke in the eye the next time he sees you. But having said that, we think this is a work of art. We really, really do. Absolutely love this. Here, with Aloma Steele, is Hillside Outlaws, and Your Love is a Cigarette.
Your love is a cigarette. Your kiss, it's whiskey straight. Every time I
you feeling there, bro?
Feeling good. How are you doing?
Oh, not the
Yeah.
well, actually, I'm sweating like crazy.
You're
Neil.
sweating hot over there. It's -2 degrees over here.
Oh God, no,
Hey,
no,
Rod Henson.
No.
And the rest of
Yeah.
the
I can send you a little
Henson
snow
family.
if you want.
no, it's okay.
Send you some snow in the mail.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it'll be fresh water by the time it gets here. Rod, nice to have you joining us. Thank you very, very much for tuning in, my bro.
Oh, he loves the Hillside Outlaws.
Yeah, I know he does. I know he does. And Happy New Year to both you and Darcy and all the rest of
And
the Handsome
Amanda, the
family.
daughter that's tuned in too.
Exactly. Now, I hope all you guys are looking after yourselves through this COVID thing. It's kind of surreal, isn't it? It really is. So please look after yourselves, won't you? Cat Beach is watching. Love Cat. Love Cat. We were just talking to D-Rock and Michelle Lee before, and Cat Beach was watching that one as well.
Awesome.
Good friends. They are good friends, D-Rock and Cat Beach. So really, really cool. Rod Henson says, thanks, guys. It's our pleasure. Thank you for being a part of Galaxy. It's a real honour. It really is, especially to talk to Louis from the band Hillside Outlaws. Fantastic band. Go and check them out, and we'll find out how you can do that right now. So, we still want you guys to come to New Zealand, but we can't do anything until the government allows us to. But believe me, bro, we're onto it right now. We're chomping at the bit. We've got everybody ready to go. As soon as those gates, we're like a racehorse.
Oh yeah, definitely on the bucket list for sure. That's we're gonna. I mean, we'll see how the regulations and all that stuff goes, but it's looking promising. You know, we're gonna try and do something, even if it's small venues this year, touring across Canada. That's part of the reason I have the caravan. Is to bring it across Canada, Langley and I, and do as many small venue shows as we're allowed to do. And
hold that
yeah,
thought.
hopefully-
Hold that thought for a minute. I'm sorry to butt in, bro. I'm just running out of time here. But hold that thought, because I've got something I want to talk to you about as well.
It's a secret. Galaxy.
Gosh, this desk is playing up today. It really is. I got to be honest with you. We're doing the best with it, and Tico guys are going to come in later on today and have a play with it. But until then, we've got to work with it. And joined here live by Louis, the man himself, coming out of Hillside Outlaws. And believe me, it is an absolute pleasure to be able to inquire about this. Now, Louis, would you mind? You see, we have a couple of friends out there that are in the business that are promoting people, if you know what I mean. One coming out of Germany, his name is Jorg, and he has a kind of a TV podcast show. Would you mind if we introduce you to him? Because believe me, I think you guys would get on so well, and he has quite a worldwide following in his own right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Always looking to meet new people, especially in different countries. That's a really cool thing. That's what I love about Galaxy and what you guys are doing, is that you're able to introduce our music, you know, because we're a fairly small Canadian band, but, you know, to have our music reach Germany and New Zealand and Australia and all these different countries around the world it really opens up doors for us as artists, and it's really amazing, these things that you do for us.
Well, let me put a little cherry on top of this, because I think you'd be very interested in this one as well. A friend of mine who has a magazine in India, he's in Bangladesh, 8 million people in the region where he is, and believe me, he's got a good share of that following him. Also has a bit of a rock band himself, you know what I mean? But we would love to be able to get you two together as well, get you in his magazine. Now, we as Galaxy, we actually have a column in there, but we do New Zealand and Australian artists. We would love to be able to get some more international content in there for Jay. Can we introduce you to him as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Send it on over.
Brilliant, brilliant. Because
We'll have tea.
Actually, that's true. But the thinking here, and believe me, this is really fascinating. I really didn't think about this until he said it to me. He says, Grant, I live here, right? I went, yeah. He says, for decades and for hundreds of years, we've been doing the Hindi music thing. And I went, right. He says, we are only now discovering Western music. And I says, really? That means you guys are pretty much like a fresh, brand spanking new sponge. You just suck in everything you get, right? And he goes, absolutely. I says, well, I have an idea. And believe me, do I have an idea? And I would love it if we could try and get something together where, you never know, we might be able to be setting up gigs and shows and everything like that on a major basis regularly in Bangladesh, and would really love to be able to include Hillside Outlaws there. So the first step, baby steps, let's get you into the magazine. Let's work on that from that point onwards. What do you think?
Absolutely. That sounds amazing. I mean, we want to tour the world. Country music it's been primarily known as North American music, but slowly but surely it's spreading, and it's making its way into the UK and to Australia, and now we have a chance to get into India and Germany and everything. You know what I mean? I think that's the next logical step for country music, is to become a worldwide genre, and I think it's heading that way. And I'd love to do anything that I can to help that transition into a world stage.
Well, believe me, we want you here in New Zealand. Of course, we got to play by the rules as the government states, but we are ready to go when we get you guys here in New Zealand. And believe me, you're going to absolutely love it here in New Zealand. Got to say hi to Nicole Sutherland as well. Thank you for joining us this morning. We reckon that we could get you here, do about 4 shows here in New Zealand, do about 6 to 8 shows in Australia. Then we can branch out from there. Now, maybe if you bear with me, you might consider we might be able to do the UK as well. I got a friend. I got a friend.
You got a friend.
We might be able to do there as well. Work our way into Germany. And
I know a guy who knows a guy.
I know a guy, I do. And then he knows a guy that will take us all the way through to India and places like that. Now, that takes us from an Australasian tour to a world tour, and at the same time we might be able to drop into places like Tokyo in Japan just to try the sake and have a bit of an ease up while we're at it. What do you reckon?
I definitely love sake, and I would love to have sake from Tokyo in Tokyo. That's that's a bucket list thing too, is traveling to different places like that. And I never thought that that music would take me around the world, but I've always hoped, and any opportunity that I can get to see that through is I'm going to take it.
I tell you what, you're around the world as we speak right now. Literally, you're on a global platform right now, and believe me, we would love to be able to do it as a show. Now, I got to be honest with you, it is a surreal time right now, but this isn't going to last forever. And we will be getting back to the normal. We do have shows here in New Zealand. We had a bit of a hiccup over the weekend, but we jumped all over that, squashed that out. We're back to normal again. Levels are back where they should be. We're having shows here in New Zealand, even though in Auckland right now only 100 people gathering, but that's going to extend out very, very shortly. Don't worry about that. Having said that, I think that the world itself is going to be on the road to repair very, very shortly, and we want to be able to extend our wings not only here in New Zealand but to Australia, to England, to Germany, to Japan, to India, and to every other country I may or may not have missed out there. We want to be a part of it, we really do, and we want to bring bands much like the Hillside Outlaws to these countries. And believe me, we've got a number of bands that we would like to hook up and make one big festival tour all the way around the world, you know what I mean? But the only thing, Louis, and you got to put up with me, unfortunately.
Well, I think I'll make it work.
You're
You're not so bad.
You haven't met me in person. Shenanigans. I like shenanigans. I get up to so much trouble. I really, really do. Believe me. These people here that keep me under control, they're saying, Louis, you don't know what you just said. Really.
I don't know. I've been known to indulge in shenanigans myself, so it may turn into a contest. We'll have to wait and see who can out shenanigan who.
I am always up for something like that. I can let you know that when we get you here in New Zealand, you're familiar with Lord of the Rings, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Okay, well, about an hour and a half away from the office where we are right now was actually the real set of Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth, Hobbiton. And, well, the staff can take you there, but I'm not allowed back. Yeah, it's true.
Why? Tell me why.
Well, you know how the security guys go around on those little cart things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one week missing.
That's right.
In fact, it
I thought maybe you were trying to pass yourself off as Gandalf.
No.
Trying to get the to the buffet, the actors buffet,
No,
green room.
I'm more precious than that. But yeah, no. Apparently, one of the security carts went missing. Ended up in the middle of Lake Rotorua. Apparently.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Good word. Allegedly. We'll stick with that one. But apparently, I'm being held responsible for it. Seeing I was the last one seen on it, ripping off down the road.
Well, when a situation like that arises, I always revert back to Shaggy.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't me.
Wouldn't you? No.
It wasn't me.
Looked like me. Wasn't me. Yeah, exactly.
My twin.
Believe me. Anyway, my bro, we are going to have to wrap it up here, but I'm kind of hearing in the background here that maybe, just maybe, you might be bringing out more new music in the near future.
Yes, we've been busy. We've been very, very busy, and there is more music coming. We have a song we just finished. It's kind of a pandemic beer drinking song. That's all I'm going to say about it. But we've been kind of working. We have enough recorded now to release an EP. We're just kind of putting all the pieces together. We've got five or six songs, including this one, "Your Love Is a Cigarette," that will be ready to hopefully by the summer of 2021 here in June, July, maybe August. We'll have a bunch more stuff coming out. In the meantime, we're going to be releasing content. Like I said, we pre-recorded a little live off the floor studio show, so that'll be coming out in March. And even though we're not touring, we're still trying to stay busy, and we're trying to stay engaged with our fans. And we just keep working. Eventually, things are going to open up, right? And when that happens, we're going to be ready, and we're going to come out guns blazing.
Nice, absolutely brilliant. And at the same time, I really want to say Happy New Year to you, and also to Langley, and hoping that everybody is staying safe, because it really is a killer right now. I just want you to take care, guys. I really, really do. Now, also Darcy Chamberlain, Hanson, thank you for joining us. Sorry you had to leave, but thank you very, very much for joining us. We are going to have to wrap this up right now, unfortunately, but please don't go anywhere just yet. Got a couple of things. Well, you know what we do after this, don't you?
You bet.
Yeah,
bet. Thanks for having me on here, Grant.
It's the most fun you can have with your pants on. It really, really is. But in the meantime, here's Alex and Sierra. A little Do You Know?